Can you trust the mainstream media? I've got an incredible story of what looks like a hit job put together by the left-wing trifecta, the mainstream media, the government, and a small socialist blogging site against a Calgary private school. The Star Metro Edmonton recently reported that a learning resource was being used, a multiple-choice question asking students to identify a positive effect of residential schools. They quoted the founder of the elite Weber Academy, Neil Weber, as saying, quote, "We want our teachers to discuss both the positives and negative aspects of the issue," going on to then insinuate that somehow Dr. Weber was a vocal proponent of residential schools. At least that's how Progress Alberta took it.
Progress Alberta, they started tweeting supposed quotes that I had said, which were not quotes at all. I didn't say those things.
Turns out the mainstream media is in on it too, because we have reached peak fake news, folks. Check out this paragraph from the Star Metro article. While acknowledging some may question the validity of the question, which appeared on a test in the Social Studies 20-4 course, the founder and head of the Weber Academy in Calgary, Neil Weber, said during an interview with Star Metro, quote, "I sure as hell don't." Instead of just framing Weber as a supporter of residential schools, I decided I would actually go to the school and ask some real questions.
After seeing what the resource was, I agree with them that they should not use it. But I am concerned that he was indicating that we should not even ask the question, were there any positive benefits? You know, maybe there aren't any. But in a classroom discussion, in developing critical thinking skills of students, you should be asking questions. What were the negatives and what were the positives?
Turns out it's worse than just fake news. It looks like not only is Weber Academy the victim of a mainstream media smear job, surprise, surprise, even worse, it looks like the Minister of Education might have been in on it too.
He Facebooked, put a Facebook message forward that a private school had been concerned about his email withdrawing that resource, and that was untrue.
I think I know why the government is out to get him. I think this is part of an ongoing attack on Weber Academy because they are guilty of being a private school, something the NDP just cannot stand. To give you an idea, this school is so successful that the Fraser Institute frequently gives them 97% out of to 100% ratings, putting them in the top 5% of over 800 schools. Who cares about learning outcomes if the NDP have an ideological bone to pick with you? To me, the issue is twofold. On one hand, our teachers, not the Minister of Education, know how to best educate our students. After all, they have a degree in giving our students the tools that they need to learn and grow. On the other hand, it's an issue of free speech. David Egan, the Minister of Education, has absolutely no right to be telling schools what or how to teach, so long as they're teaching the Alberta curriculum. Instead, you must agree with the left-wing worldview of the current government and preach it unflinchingly, or a confluence of left-wing collaborators will conspire to just ruin your reputation. Luckily, when I asked if teachers at Weber Academy were going to kowtow to the NDP, this is what Dr. Weber had to say.
Any controversial topic, any non-controversial topic, we're going to have our students ask questions. For example, a grade 6 class recently, they were talking about forms of government. Dictatorships, democracies. One student said, "My parents came from a country where there was a dictatorship, and they thought it was a well-run country, and so they had a discussion. But here was a different point of view." And that is good for that discussion.
I think it's safe to say that Weber Academy will not be towing the government line anytime soon. For the Rebel.media, this is Cian Bexty. I think the government is hiding their involvement in trying to ruin the reputation of Weber Academy, so I'm investigating. You can stay up to date by following me on Twitter at economic3, and help me out by sharing this video to your friends, family, and to the teachers of your kids. Thanks.